Hey guys, this is Matt Ramsey with the Octave Higher East Voice Studio, and this is episode 3 of Octave Higher TV, and it starts now. Guys, I think, everybody is totally stuffed with everything that they've been eating over the Thanksgiving holidays. And it reminds me of a really, really good question that was asked by Nigel Clark. And Nigel's an awesome student. And, the first couple weeks that he and I started working together, he asked me, "You haven't asked me to quit drinking coffee yet?" I thought that was like something that like all voice teachers do. And, for a large part of, voice teachers, that is. I'm no real exception. However, I'm a realist. I have drank coffee in my life before. I drink a lot of tea now and a lot of water now. But in general, I think that he asks a really good question, which is, how does food affect the voice? Okay, and so there's 2 different ways that food can affect the voice. The first way is that food can directly affect the vocal folds or the vocal cords themselves. And the second way is that the food that you eat or, the drinks that you drink can affect your gut and your stomach and the acidity and the overall acidity of your body. So the gut actually kind of controls, everything that happens in your body. Whatever you put in your mouth, is going to be processed by your body, and we all kind of have to deal with the consequences of that. So with that said, I'm going to cover what happens with the vocal folds really quickly, and then I'm going to move into more of the vague stuff with what happens with your gut health and with your body. So when you're taking a look at the vocal folds themselves, you really kind of have to worry about 2 big things that occur in everyday life, and hopefully not in many people's lives. One is smoking. So when you are smoking anything, you are basically just actively blowing smoke across your vocal folds, which over time is going to cause them to become smoked, dried out, consistently dry, unresponsive, and inflexible, and you're going to lose a lot of the quality of your voice, like the flexibility and being able to sing from high to low and low to high and all this stuff. Generally, just a really, really bad thing for your voice, and to continue doing over time is just dangerous in any case. Second of all is alcohol. So alcohol affects the voice in that it makes the vocal folds respond by getting puffy. So all this alcohol is going past the vocal folds and it's making them puff up, which makes your voice sound just kind of warm and like fuzzy, which, some people may like. But for the most part, what you're going to see is the vocal folds, again, kind of like smoking, are going to become less responsive because they're so puffy, they're kind of sluggish to move, and you're going to lose some flexibility that way. Then second, how food can affect your body in general. In general, you want to stay away from really acidic, greasy foods. Stuff like sugar, dairy, grains. Right before you sing can make it really difficult because your body is trying to digest that. It's secreting a ton of acid in order to deal with that. And all of that starts kind of coming up and affecting your whole body, making your overall body a little bit more acidic than we want it to be, which makes everything just a little bit harder than it wants to be. And nobody wants singing to be any harder. I absolutely promise you. So, a lot of people say, hey, what do you recommend instead? When it comes to drinking, I recommend LaCroix. HEB sparkling waters are great. If you're, going to perform that evening, I wouldn't recommend drinking before the show. Have a couple LaCroix or a couple sparkling waters, hydrate the voice. This is awesome, and this isn't going to cause any upset stomach or anything like that. In fact, it's going to soothe that. Just water in general is just great, a marvelous thing to do for your instrument before you're about to take it, on stage and bash it around for a couple of hours. And as far as foods go, depending on your particular allergenic, history and needs, maybe staying away from grains, sugar, and dairy is a good idea anyway. However, I definitely recommend that you stay away from those things right before you sing. So I hope this helps, and I hope it's kind of, prescient, given that we've all had this wonderful holiday where we've eaten tons and tons of stuff in the house. So I hope you had a very happy Thanksgiving. This is Matt Ramsey with Octave Higher East, and have a great week. Bye.